Hey, look, I'm just gonna say this. I have almost 1,000 subscribers. Well, actually, as I record this right now, I do have 1,000. Now, I don't know whenever I post this, I don't know how many I have because I tend to, I'll gain a few, I'll lose a few. But for right now, as I record this, the 1,000 that I do have, thank you. I want to thank everybody who thought enough a little of me to subscribe. But the problem is, y'all not watching, and that's what this is about. Because I think my last video got about 10 views. I ain't say 10,000. Not 1,000, just 10. And I know somebody watching this right now is thinking, okay, well, why are you even talking about that? But just keep going. Hey, look, I think we need to talk about it because if you're a creator, especially if you're newer, especially if you're doing this later in life like me, you felt this. Or maybe you will feel this. Or I hope you don't have to feel it at all. But you sat there and you looked at all the analytics and thought, man, like, what am I doing wrong? The content, the people, care, like that. But anyway, today I just want to have a real conversation about that, though. Not the Instagram version where everybody crushing it. You get these views rolling in. I'm talking about the real one. The version where you're putting in the work, but the number just not matching what you feel like you deserve. Hey, you should feel like you deserve it all. Because I think, but honestly though, I think this conversation need to happen, like for real. And I'm gonna have it with you right now. And that's the part no one wants to put in their highlight reel. So I'm gonna be transparent. I'm sitting at, well, right now, like I said, as I record this, I'm sitting at 1,000 subscribers. And I want to tell you, I've been to at the 1,000 before, and I lost them, and I came back, and I celebrated, watched it go back down, but it's the back and forth. So I don't really I ain't popping the champagne stuff right now. But when I get to about 1,050, I'll probably get a little bit excited. I am. I figure at least those will stick. But I think really what messes with me is though like the subscriber count. It's that gap, the gap between how many people subscribe and actually how many people actually shows up watching it. Because it seems like they should have some type of connection, right? Some type of relationship. But I don't know where they at when I post my channel, post my video. Hey, but it was this one subscriber. She did say, hey, and it made me feel good, cause in my last video, 999, I think it's called now. What she did I wish I could subscribe twice, but she did say that she enjoyed the content, and that's what keeps me going. Seriously, is that even if it's one person, I feel like I'm helping somebody. And that's what this is all about, right? Because if I grow, I get to show you or help you grow. I'm not a guru. I don't have this figured out at all. But I'm enjoying the learning process of this. I always call myself a career student. So this part of it, even though it can be annoying at times, and you're trying to figure out what are you doing? But I enjoy this. I do. So shout out. I can't even think of her name, but I'm gonna put her. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna be right here. Thank you though, because it's people like you that honestly keeps me going. So yeah. So let me keep going. Like I said, I get it. The algorithm is the algorithm. Shorts brings in a different kind of viewer than long form, and I have to understand that because I know people subscribe, then life happens. They forget. Intellectually, I understand all of that. Emotionally, it can feel like you're throwing a party and nobody shows up, and you're sitting there dang. But it's all good though, and I think because now I really don't have any expectations. But I think it's different when you're doing this, when you're over a certain age, because I feel like you don't have unlimited time and nor the energy to grind it out. You just got a life and you're doing all this stuff and you're trying to find time to record, trying to find time to edit. So it's like your effort, because when but I think effort, I think really once your return doesn't match your effort, I think that's when it hits different because, the effort, it costs you more, or it feel like it is anyway. And no, I don't think you're imagining it. It is harder. and you're doing it anyway. And hey, that matters more than you think. Um, but I do want to talk about when I almost walked away, or when I did walk away for a while. I don't think I fully talked about it, but I stopped for about a year, and I just stopped. Like, I stopped posting, I stopped showing up, I stopped recording. I just stopped, and it wasn't because something dramatic happened, right? Um, I think it was a burnout, and I think the burnout just happened over time. It kind of like, just crept up on me, and I think it was just one of those when I didn't realize it until I realized it. And I realized, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll record tomorrow. I'll record the next day. I'll record the next week. And then I just I just never recorded again. And I think it had a lot to do with the numbers. Not all of it, but part of it was like looking at the effort I was putting into it and feel like, man, I ain't even going nowhere. You know how it is, like you run on a treadmill, you're moving, but you're not really moving. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like something in me just said, what's the point? So I just stopped. And for a while, it felt fine. Almost honestly, kind of like a little relief there, because I wasn't committing to anything anymore. I didn't have to be like, man, I need to record. And I need to edit. I didn't have that. I didn't have that to do anymore. But then I started missing it. I'm not talking about the analytics. I'm not talking about the subscriber count. I miss the talk, and I miss having a space where I feel like I could be real about what I was going through as somebody who was trying to figure this whole content creation later in life out type thing. And I miss the connection. I miss maybe feeling like there's somebody out there who needed it. There's somebody out there who actually enjoyed it. Because the thing is, when I started this channel, it was never about monetizing. Because I just really wanted to talk to people who get it, people who are in the same season that I'm in. And I wasn't going to let an algorithm take that from me. Because the reason I'm here, the reason I started that belongs to me. The numbers did not bring me back. I do want you to understand that. It was the purpose. My purpose did. And so, like, it's things that keeps me going because I want to give you something real here. Like, now I don't want to give you, like, no motivational speech. But I do want to actually tell you what it was for me. Because I think, like, one of the main things was batch recording. And I know that sounds practical. It's not this emotional thing that I have for you, but batch recording changed my relationship with consistency because when I'm having a good week, like today, I'm in a zone. Like when I'm energized, when my mind is clear, when I got things to say, I record. I record in that window, and I may record 4 or 5 videos, but that means on the weeks where life is heavy, I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like I don't have to because I have stuff scheduled, ready to go out. So it works out for me. And then another thing is I stopped tying my self-worth to the analytics. And sometimes that's easier said than done because, of course, I used to check that YouTube Studio app so many times because you were kind of like doing this and watching other people, other small content creators who have made it or who are making it, who's growing. They kind of program you to do that. Like, in a sense, not necessarily, they're not saying, hey, go check the YouTube app or the YouTube Studio app. They're not saying that, but they're talking all these numbers and this and that. The only way you're going to figure that part out is by checking your YouTube Studio app. But I had to make a real decision at some point. I'm like, either this channel is going to be worth doing it because I believe in what I'm building, or it's not. It's as simple as that. And if it's only worth doing when the numbers are good, then I'm giving a website way too much power over how I feel about myself. And listen, YouTube does not get to decide if I have something valuable to say. I decide that. And you do too. Remember that. And then I think about the one person who might be sitting somewhere and it might be feeling exactly how I felt when I almost quit. Feeling invisible, feeling like maybe, hey, we started this thing too late. Maybe we're not tech savvy enough. Maybe our production isn't good. But also, if this video finds like one person and they feel even a little less alone, and that's worth more to me than 10,000 views from people who clicked and left in 30 seconds. And I do have a couple people who actually watch and support, and I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. Seriously, though. And what I always have to keep reminding myself is I keep going back, and I don't want to look back and wonder like what would have happened if I stayed. I'm not willing to quit before I see what this becomes. Because I genuinely believe that the people who make it on YouTube are not always the most talented or the most polished. But I mean, they the ones who refuse to quit. They the ones who refuse to stop. And I'm not gonna be one of those people. I did decide that about myself. Listen, they say the algorithm rewards consistency over time, but hey, the only way to be consistent over time is to care about something bigger than the numbers. That's all I can say about that. So look, if you're watching this and you're in that place where the numbers don't match your effort, whether you question whether like, is this worth it? And maybe even thought about stepping away. Listen, I'm gonna say this to you directly. Don't make a permanent decision based on where you are right now. Because where you are right now is not where this ends. Hey, you started this for a reason. Stay true to that, because that reason is still valid. The fact that YouTube hasn't pushed out your content yet does not mean your content doesn't matter, okay? It just means that you ain't been found by the right people yet. And the only way they will find you is if you're still there. Yeah, if you're still there when they're looking. So do me a favor, keep recording, keep showing up, keep being real, because being real is rare. And rare always finds its audience eventually. Hey, drop a comment and tell me where you're at in your creator journey. Seriously, I read all my content, all my comments, and I respond. And if you're new here, do me a favor, subscribe. We're building something real over here, and I want you to be a part of it. And I'll see you in the next one. Whether when you see this, I'm at $9.99, I'm at 1,000 or whatever. Listen, I'm not done. I'm not even close. And listen, you're not done either. Hey, and also remember, you are enough. Hey, and if no one else has told you today, I love you and God does too.